Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for coming back for another video. I appreciate you. If this is your first time here, welcome. All we do on this channel is bring back stuff from the dead. This video is no different. Let's get right into it. It is August 13th. I picked this up yesterday. We are rearing up into the snow season, and before we know it, the snow will be among us here in the northern states. It was in my town, so it was right down the street. I don't know too much about it, so I'll tell you guys what I do know. It's in non-running condition. The guy had it posted for, I want to say he had it posted for $100, and then within, I was like a hawk. I was watching it from the first day, and I think after like the first night, so he posted it in like the evening, and then I think the next morning he lowered it from 100 to 90. I waited a day, and I wasn't extremely interested in it, and then I messaged him the next day and I noticed it was still available. So I said, hey, I'm not sure if you're getting too much interest in this, but I'd be a buyer at like $60 if you if you want to take the deal. If not, no worries. So I think he came back with like the lowest I can go is 70. I pointed out some of the rust and he said, well, it's normal, and it is. And then I also saw this in the picture, and he actually didn't even know about this. This chute, this discharge chute is cracked right there. So not a big deal. It probably still works as is, but devaluing it to the max just to get whatever I could. So he was semi-interested in the 60. He was like, all right, well, if you still want it for 60, that's fine. And then you guys, I promise you, I actually wanted to pass. I didn't really want it. And I was like, you know what, man, I think we're just too far apart. I think this has more problems than I want to deal with right now. So I'll probably just pass on it. And the guy must have really wanted to sell it. So he said, will you take it for 50? And then I kind of hemmed and hawed, and I did end up saying, okay, that's fine. So I'm going to figure that out. He said that he tried to clean the carb last year at the beginning of the season, and it kind of worked. And then, I don't know what cleaning the carb entailed, but I'm going to stop rambling. Let's kind of get into just the diagnosis of it. So it has the tracks, which is cool. It's a 6-speed, 24-inch. That auger inside of there looks pretty good. I'm not going to show it right now. The light kind of sucks, but there's a little bit of rust paint chipping, but other than that, the auger looks really good. No bend, no significant damage in there. I know those can get pretty chewed up, but has the Tecumseh engine on it, probably a 5-ish horsepower. This is that common snowblower engine that you see on a lot of them. It smells like gas. Gas doesn't smell too bad. Check that oil. So it's low. Doesn't look too dirty. Looks like they maybe have just added fresh stuff to it. You can see that stuff on the top looks a little better than the stuff on the bottom. So yeah, let's check for the old spark. The engine does turn over. And I will throw this electric start in, and we'll check for spark. At the same time, we'll make sure the electric start works. All right, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera, but just because we're in broad daylight, let me zoom in. That should show up. So in that little cylinder, there should be an orange flicker. All right, guys, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. The camera just wanted to shut off, but that threw me off guard. Sorry, you guys were zoomed all the way in. I didn't know. I totally forgot when I moved the camera away. It still must have been zoomed in on something, but yeah, that just wanted to take right off. Well, not too often that happens. Before I popped the camera on, I did see one thing that I'll show you right now. Just get this little mirror. Underneath that carburetor, let's see if this will show up. So there's that carburetor. If you can see, it's got like that brown. That's just pure goo. I did notice that. I just stuck my head underneath there before I started filming, and I did notice that. So I'll probably end up just pulling that carb off anyways. We'll clean it out just to make sure we're thorough. So I'll get that off. The electric start obviously works. Has spark, has compression, and it's getting fuel. From there, we'll go, you know, test out the gears and test out the auger and then give it a bath. And this one might be a really quick one. Usually we don't work on stuff that starts right up and just wants to fire right away like that. So cool. I'm gonna get that carb off. I'll bring you guys back up on the bench when we get it off. Guy, we're trying to film a video here and you got your electric weed whipper going. Okay, I got that carburetor off. I am glad that we are cleaning this because take a look at this. Just a normal white paper towel, right? Yeesh. And that is gas. That is gas that is coming out of there. What's going on there? Anyways, let's get this guy taken apart. I have the ultrasonic cleaner heating up. It just looks like trash, and I mean that gas that's coming out of there doesn't look too bad. That first stuff that came out, that looked worse. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. A lot worse in my head. The ultrasonic cleaner might be overkill. Oh, we got this far. I'm going to try to very carefully take that gasket off. And if it comes off without a fight, we'll take it off. Yeah, it's fighting me. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch it. A little bit of crap. There might have been a little bit of crap in that cup before we took it off or before we filled it up. So there's a jet right here. Kind of idle mixture maybe. If you don't know, here's a good rule of thumb. This is what I do. When you have if you're working on a carburetor and you have a, you know, some kind of a jet and you don't know what to set it at and you want to fine tune it, in order to find out what that's set at, I'm going to drive it in, and then that's what I'm going to use as my measurement, because whatever I drive it in is what it's driven out. So when I go to put that back in there, I'll just drive it all the way in until it lightly seats. Don't tighten it too hard. Lightly seated, and then back it out whatever you count. So let's start to count. So that's a half. That's 1, half, 2, and it's, yeah, well, just say 2. So remember that. 2 turns. There was a little breather tube on here that was broken off. That's that piece. So we're good there. That's just a stop screw. Eek, doesn't look very good. And then I think that main jet or that pickup tube in there is non-removable. I will push on it really quick just to verify. I don't even know if I can get to it. Yeah, I don't think I can get to it. I might just leave it. Yep, I'm just gonna leave it. All right, this isn't heated up all the way, but that's okay. That float has no water in it, so that's good. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 30. We're not quite up to 50 degrees Celsius, but I'm okay. Okay, while that heats up and cleans, we'll leave you there, and then I'm gonna go have dinner. We'll see how everything works afterwards. Again, projects like this that start off this way are always they're mystifying, and I don't really like it. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's always just like Murphy's Law. You know, something's gonna go wrong. And I'm not expecting it, but hopefully we'll just keep our fingers crossed and that this one turns out to be a good one. So, or you know what? That gas tank didn't look too bad, nor did the gas coming out of it. Let's just err on the safe side and let's just run everything that was in there out. Kind of hesitant to, yeah. We'll just keep it. Doesn't look that bad. So the tank's probably a third full. So we'll just keep it for now. It's all right. Let's let that heat up and I'll bring you guys back when it's all done. All right, let's get that boy out of there. Float's still floating, that's a good sign. Ooh, that's hot. All right, usually what I do when these come out of the ultrasonic cleaner is there's still a cleaning solution on here. So what I like to do is just take a little bit of carb spray, try to avoid the gaskets, just because this stuff can wreak havoc on those. You know, if a little bit gets in the intake, I'm okay with that. It's designed to have a little bit of influence in there. Once I spray it off with carb spray, I like to give it some shots of compressed air just to get everything further off of it. Let's get that assembled. We'll get it put back on there and we'll fire it up and see how it sounds. Guys, well, that sounds great. Glad it came back so well. I'm not surprised because this one wanted to run just right from the very beginning. So I'm going to change the oil, and before I clean it off and wrap this one up, I do want to show you guys a couple of things, two things, and oh man, shoot. Two things in particular. One of them is complex and the other one is easy. So one's hard, one's easy. Hopefully the hard one doesn't give us too much crap, but I will give you a hint. I will have to get out the welder because there are a couple places starting to rot. And I will show you where in just a hot second. Let's get this oil changed. I think these Tecumsehs are, I think they're a 5W30, which I don't have any of right now, so I might not fill it right now. Oh, come on, guy. The whole assembly wants to come out. All right. Oh. Looks like the whole assembly is coming out. Just a FYI, this is going to be an absolute mess. Oh man, there's oil going everywhere. All right, I'm gonna get this cleaned up and then I will show you those two remaining incidences that we're gonna have to address. Good thing it was low on oil. Otherwise, that would have been probably double the mess. Okay, got that mess kind of cleaned up. That was a disaster. I did fix this. I pulled it out, and now the next time the next person, whether it's me or somebody else, takes that out, just the drain bolt will come off, not the entire tube. All right, so here is thing one, I guess thing 1A. So that joint right there is loose, and it should not be that loose. And that has rotted. And the other side that you can't see because it's right in the way of this, it's just like the other side, it's loose. So I might tack that back together. And then the only other thing that I saw cosmetically is this piece right here is bent out. So that's easily tapped back in to where it contours to that. I'm not gonna do that tonight, I'm gonna do it tomorrow, and we will give it a bath tomorrow and wrap this one up. Hang in there and I will see you tomorrow. All right guys, it's a couple days later. I'm trying to remember where this video left off. We got it running, we got the oil changed, and what else? I'm trying to remember. But anyways, we got a couple things left to do before it is done. I'm gonna take this chute off momentarily, and we'll get the. I have a little grommet kit, so we'll get some grommets in it, and then we'll just kind of zip tie, stitch it back up. That's the best thing I can do for now. I don't really want to like plastic weld it or do anything like that. I feel like that wouldn't hold up under the pressure that's coming out. So some well-placed grommets and some strong zip ties, I think, is what I want to do there. We just have to give it like a, just a clean, a bath, power wash session. And then the other thing, there's a little flap right there that's bowed back, so we'll tap that back in. And then I don't know if I showed this. I don't know if I showed this on the other videos. I will, I'll do my best to zoom in. This snowblower is a little bit different than like this one. This is a Craftsman. And this is, if you notice right there, it's welded all the way around, or I think it is actually. Anyways, it's all the way around. So what's going on with this one is this piece is separate from this, but there are 3 points. One, there's another one on the other side, and then there's one directly on the bottom. If you see there, that piece, all 3 of them are like that. That needs some structural attention. I do have a little tabletop welder. I will tack those 3 back on. Kind of hit it with the angle grinder first and just clean off some of that old rust and paint, so that way we can get a good clean connection on there. We got that, the chute, a bath, and then we're pretty much done. Oh yeah, that little flap thing. Let me get set up with the welder and I'll get you guys in a good position. I'm debating draining that fuel line just because sparks are going to be flying and I really don't want to die today, so I'll figure that out. Let me get you guys set up, and first things first, I do have to clean that up a little bit, all 3 of those points. So the 3rd one's right there, and that one actually looks pretty good. So I am going to leave that one alone. I'm gonna get this chute off first also, before I go any further. All right guys, this one might be a little bit harder to see. I'm just tacking both sides before I go hard on the whole thing. Okay, so we got that welded, that thing tacked back up. I'll show you the finished product when we're through with this. So here is what I want to do. I have a little bit of room that I'm working with here. So we're gonna do 2 stitches. We'll do one right there, one right there, there, and there. And we'll cross stitch that, and then that leaves down here, which we can't do any down here. So we're gonna try to do one as centered as possible, and then we'll just kind of complete it over there. So I'm gonna get those drilled out. I will be very straightforward. I know it's not rocket science, but this is the first time I've ever used one of these grommet kits. I know it's straightforward, but just FYI. I guess there's just nothing to it. You just put one on top and one on the bottom, right? And then you just crimp it. Are there differences? I don't know. But it says it is a 5/32. So we will get that drill bit. I guess that's about as good as I can do, I think. Why wouldn't, I don't know, maybe it's not me. Why wouldn't they make this bag resealable? Why wouldn't they put a little zipper on there? I mean, come on. Just think. So. Exactly why. I just set it down right here and it tipped and like 5 of them went way behind. Oh. But anyways, use a stupid zipper. Sorry. There, now you're using your head, mister. Put it in the vise. Okay, it worked out well. Seems to be pretty solid on there. So I'm gonna get those other 6, and then the zip ties that I grabbed, I think are gonna be too big. Yeah, so I gotta get littler guys. Well, that's not good. I was hoping maybe I'll double up. Maybe they're not even gonna be big enough. I think the little ones I have are only this big. I don't know if they're gonna be able to wrap. Yeah, we'll see. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me get all 6 of those in, and then I will show you guys the finished product. Okay, not the prettiest, but it feels pretty solid. And hopefully when snow and stuff's flinging stuff back up, those stay in place. But the grommets are there to stay, so just in case, you know, one does pop off, it's not that hard to just slip the other one back on. It was either that or get a new one. I looked it up. It was like, this piece was like 50 bucks. So kind of a lot of money to put into it versus just a few cents. One last thing before we wash this thing off, let's get that flap bent back under. There, that's a little bit better. All right, guys, I think it's time to put this one in the books. That weld job, it's maybe might be hard to tell. It's not my best, but whatever, it is what it is. That is my first time ever doing that grommet work. There's what it looks like on the side. So, hold on. So it looks like that one wants to come out a little bit, but I mean, it seems to be solid. And I mean, it's better than just leaving it as is. Just, I don't think that'll get any worse. It'll just kind of hold it in place. So, you know, I'm happy with how this one turned out, but yeah, thanks for hanging with me on it. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Really appreciate you coming along for this one. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. What we did in this video is pretty much every video on this channel. So if you're into this kind of thing, just tap on my face, that'll subscribe you to the channel. And most, if not all of the videos we've made up to this point, and probably in the future, are gonna be like this. So if you're into it and you like it, enjoy. There's a few there. Follow me on social media at chrisxoutdoors. If you're into email, chrisxoutdoors@icloud.com. Say hi, follow me there. I'd love to hear what you guys are working on. Until the next one, thanks again for joining, guys. Later. Peace.